Hello, I'm going to briefly present the prototype of the Nexus game. So once you are in the link, you can access the Nexus game by pressing on this particular link, but I would advise for anybody that want to play to use Google Chrome. So you press and here you go, you're in the game. So you can use your right mouse button to pan and your mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out. What happens here is you've got different regions, different components. Each one has a particular role. Overall, we are exploring a model, in this case, the model of the Greek study case with 9,000 variables and 14 regions where each region influences all other regions. So it's quite complex. The challenge is how do you visualize all that? So on the left here, you got a simplified view of Greece, or the defined water basins regions, and you can select each different region has got different figures. So you can see for each region, you can see the data, and you can also see data for the national level. So let's say we look at Epirus, and what we can see is once we've selected this region, there is on the right something that looks a little bit complicated, which is the tree view of the model. Every single variable used in the model and how they're related. So briefly, the variables on the left are the most important one, the top variable, such as groundwater balance and surface water balance and energy demand and well, the nexus variable. And the node under, the children node in the tree, correspond to other variable used to compute the top variable. So the more you go to the right, the more you're getting into the detail of the model, the hierarchy of variable used to compute throughout equations the very, very top variable. So each time you change the region, the whole tree changes because each region has got a specific model with slight variation. So if I select that region, you can see the model change slightly. If I select this other region, it changes slightly. If I select the whole of Greece, then you've got a bit of a different view, and so on. Another thing is that you can see the detail of, for the tree, all the model variable, you can actually see in this view the detail of the different values. So for example, if you decide to see what's under energy demand, all the different variables used to compute energy demand, you click on it, and then you get a view of the different variable used to compute that. If you want to see a generation of electricity and so on. So you also can trigger a horizon chart view, which is a very convenient view used in financial visualization of the same time data. And you can go back to the very top variables. So this is a convenient way to examine data set, but without being too confused with all 9,000 variables at the same time. Also, you've got indicator, which are used to check your progress during the game, because this is a game, so you got some sort of indicator that points toward the nexus elements of success or failure. In that particular case, these indicators are very much temporary. This is just a setting for the purpose of demonstration. We are using the service of a professional comic drawer, which has done things such as the cartoon introduction to macroeconomics and such work. So he's quite good at relating complex scientific concepts to people. Another thing is, as this is a game, the general view is you got cards. These cards represent policy instruments you can apply, and when you apply this policy instrument, each card has got different effects on your model. So if I click on one particular card, I will see underlined in blue which variables of your model, of your nexus, this card is influencing. So some cards, some policies only influence a very specific portion of your model, such as this one, for example. But some other policies, such as crops, have a complete, like a general effect, a pervasive effect on the whole nexus. So once you've decided upon a policy, what you can do is you can drag and drop this policy into your timeline. You start in 2020. So let's say you apply some increase solar share energy policy, and then this takes away some resources, and you end your turn to trigger the expense to spend the resources and apply the policy. The model then has just returned your new results. Your indicators are now updated, and you progress until you come to 2050. So this is a general overview of the game so far. Things can change. The model data themselves are going to be updated and refined. But this has been done so far as a design in collaboration with modelers and users, and we're starting to get an idea of what people want and what they don't want. So there is good progress so far. Thank you very much for your attention.